welcome to Destination Passport. I'm Keith Bird.
I'm Damon Product, and together we are
Bird Product Travel Agency.
Thanks again so much for tuning in, guys.
To the only podcast about travel.
I was just setting you up. I didn't forget to say the only podcast about travel. Keith, I was just setting you up because I know you're better at saying it than I am.
Yeah, well, it's just some words just come out better out of my mouth.
Yeah. The only podcast about travel.
Yeah, that's
those are
like
all
shit
of
just
your. Yeah, I know. Those are all of your core words. Mine are
Yeah.
more around like fungus, sky, branches. Those are kind of my core competencies.
Yeah, fungus, sky, and branches. Yeah,
Which we haven't found a catchphrase that we could use using those three words yet, which is what pisses me off.
Yeah, it's too bad. But when you were an emergency room nurse and kids would come in with fungal emergencies, you were usually right on top of them.
I was the one who would come in, and I would say, "Please, can I tell them? Can I be the one that tells them? Please, 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 please."
Can I be the one that tells them about their fungus? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, but that was a past life. We try not to talk too much about that.
Yeah. We don't associate with that anymore because now we are travel agents.
Yeah. Honestly, this is a better way of helping people.
This is it's a more direct way. You could definitely say that. I'd say we impact more lives in a more meaningful way being travel agents than emergency room nurses and doctors. For sure.
Yeah. Because most of the time, if you're dying, it's like you probably just want to die, right?
Yeah. Yeah. If you're dying, you're mostly likely just like, I want to die. But people to come to us, well, there's been an exception or two.
Yeah.
But most people that want to come to us, they want to live, baby.
They want to live. They want to live a life of travel.
A life of destinations.
Yeah, and of passports. And one such person was, of course, our guest last week, Kevin Funt.
Kevin Funt. What a fun time he was.
Yeah, we had a fun time. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, dude. I had a week to think about that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
We had a whole run of just great fun puns last week.
Which is amazing that we were able to make those up on the spot.
Yeah, I think, another one I thought of was like, it's all fun and games.
I think we may have done that last week, but if not,
yeah, but I just thought of it again, and it just felt just as good the second time.
Yeah, well, it's fun that you said that.
Okay, now that's a good one also. Yeah. But Kevin Funt, I think he had a fun time in Poland. He sent us a postcard, as all of our guests and clients
We
do.
don't tell them to. We don't make them, but they just seem to love sending us postcards, and we love receiving them because we do it like like you would at Christmas time. We put them on our wall. We tape them all to our wall.
Yeah. We tape it. It ends up looking like, because we have this red yarn that we use to sort of like connect them together. And I think if somebody were to wander into our travel agency, not know what they're expecting, they think that we're trying to solve some kind of murder.
Yeah. But we're really just trying to connect the dots on, how we help different people and in what order. But I think if somebody came in, certainly they would say, okay, somebody murdered someone here.
Yeah.
And Polish, what do Polish clowns have to do with it?
And what they have to do with it is just giving Kevin Funt the time of his life. Because as you may remember, Kevin Funt, very scrawny internet bully, just about the thinnest person that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You've heard of skin and bones. This guy was basically just skin.
Yeah.
He barely even had bones.
He said he had bones. I didn't see him.
I didn't see any bones. I didn't see any bones.
When I was looking at him, I didn't see any bones on the exterior of his body.
I didn't see a single bone.
Yeah.
I didn't see a single external bone.
So I just had to assume it's all skin there, baby.
Yeah, he was just like sort of, he was like a wisp. He was just sort of blowing in the wind.
Mm-hmm. It was hard to get him to just sit down and talk with us because we had the AC on and it was just blowing
it was blowing
around the room.
like the Forrest Gump feather. We had to like chase him around the room, like grab him, put him back in his chair. He'd like flutter out of the room again. It was tough. But, I think now that he's been eating 10 pounds of kielbasa a day and doing old-timey circus workouts with these sad, lonely Polish clowns. He's having a time. I mean, he looked ripped for him. He looked like he had bones. He looks like he's at least developed bones.
I think he's developed bones. And again, for him, he looked ripped, a.k.a. he looked like just a regular scrawny guy now.
Yeah.
It didn't look like he would be blown away in a light breeze.
Previously, if someone had said Kevin Funt looks ripped, I'd be like, oh no, he got ripped in half.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a piece of paper.
Yeah.
But now he's ripped like a guy with at least
bones.
one muscle.
Like a
he's
guy
got I think he's got at least 10 bones and one muscle.
Yeah, 10 bones, one muscle.
Yeah, but
and that was our goal going into this, right?
Yeah.
But he said he's having the time of his life.
He's getting ready for his audition so they can stay for the third week.
Yeah, so he's at the end of his second week now. And so
they don't know when we record these.
That's right. They don't know when we record these.
The timing, for those of you listening, the timing works.
The timing works out. If you're doing math in your head, stop it.
Stop.
and just listen. You know how when people tell you to listen, they say let go of what you're internally monologuing, because usually you're just planning what you're going to say next.
Yeah. And I'm not doing that right now. I'm just listening to you.
Sure, I know. To all the listeners that are doing that with mathematics in their heads, stop it and just listen to the words coming out of my mouth.
And I listened to that, and I heard it. And now I'm saying this.
And you didn't plan that in
I didn't plan
advance?
that at all.
Wow.
Yeah, I was just purely going off of what you gave me, and I'm giving you something.
And I just felt that something, and I'm feeling the energy.
And that's how this travel agency works. It's energy based.
It's energy based, and we do energy healing as well on the side.
A little bit of energy healing.
Yeah. I mean, I've done it more than you, Keith. I don't want to necessarily wrangle you into that. It's more of a side hustle of mine that I do energy heal.
Yeah, I've done more energy bruising.
Yeah.
And it's
Which helps business for me.
Yeah, I go out there, I bruise people's energies just by kind of being myself in public. I just sort of, if I exist in public near a person for like at least 10 minutes, their energy will be bruised enough that they need to come to you.
Yep. That's why I follow you around, and then I pass out my card and I say, hey, I know a guy, it's me. And then I wink.
Yeah.
And I say, I'm an energy healer.
That wink is like the first step of the healing process.
Yep.
That wink is sort of like, they're just instantly, like their energy's a little bit less bruised.
Well, I aim it at their third eye, so I know what I'm doing, and I'm opening up that chakra immediately, the dick hole. I only work with male clients. I can only energy heal from the dick hole in.
Yeah.
So,
but you're working on energy healing through female urethras as well.
I'm working on it, but I wouldn't say that I'm confident enough in it to like start charging for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you've been doing some pro bono female urethra energy healing.
Pro bono is a good way to put it. Yeah, as in they don't know I'm doing it, don't want me to do it, and tell me not to do it once they realize that I'm doing it.
Yeah. Now speaking of pro bono, Maury is not pro bono for you. You're still using up some of your Maury retainer.
Yeah, that's right. I just used another one. How many did we say I was on?
I think you needed to go on Maury 3 more times by the end of the year, or you just lose that money.
Yeah, exactly. And so last week I mentioned how I went on again. So I went on my second time this week.
Yeah.
And I called them up. I said, hey, I got to get on again. And they said, well, you got to give us something. Like, what's your thing? You know what I mean? What story can we sell? And I said, well, I'm afraid of ants.
Yeah, by which you mean like your parents' sisters.
Yeah, my parents' sisters. I'm afraid of my aunts. And they said, okay, well, I mean, we could make that work. So they called my aunts, of which there are 2 of them. They're lovely ladies.
Yeah, but you're terrified of them.
But I'm terrified of them. Something about just the familial relationship, it just icks me out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why do my parents have sisters?
Yeah. I have a sister.
Yeah.
How would my parents have sisters? They
that doesn't make
birthed
sense.
Me.
Yeah,
I haven't put it together yet. And so I went on Maury, and then they brought them out, and you know the security guys had to kind of pull us apart because I was trying to choke them.
Yeah,
I was trying to choke them.
Yeah,
just to not have ants anymore because it keeps me up at night. And I figured, if I got rid of them, a lot of my fears would be gone in this world.
Yeah, I mean, anticide is a real thing. Like anticidal rage is a real response to ant phobia.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't know. It hasn't aired yet, but I'm glad I at least got that second one out of the way. I've got a third one that I got to get out there still. So I don't know if you want to come up with something. I feel like other than that, I don't have any other weird quirks to go on Maury with, and I'm just trying to brainstorm. Like, what can I go on with? Yeah.
Has Maury done like an episode that's like I have diarrhea?
So it would be. The guest name, you just bring them out, and then under it just says, in quotes, I have diarrhea.
Yeah. Have they done that yet?
I don't know. I could ask them.
Maury's been going for a long time.
Yeah.
They're probably scraping the bottom of the barrel with those little quotes.
Yeah. I don't know that they've done that yet. I'll ask them. And then I guess I'd have to get diarrhea.
That might be tough.
That'll be the tougher part.
You've got guts of steel.
I do. If anything, I have IBS, and I get a little constipated. I get on the other end, if anything.
You don't have irritable bowel syndrome. You have insane bowel syndrome.
Exactly. Yeah. The doctor, he said, you have IBS, and I said, irritable bowel? He said, no. And he pulled out a chart, and right above irritable is insane bowel syndrome.
And then he gave you a pamphlet about IBP, Insane Bowel Posse, which is a support group that you can join.
Yeah. And we tour around. We go around.
Oh, you joined?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, I joined. Yeah.
That's great. Well, I've had a little bit going on in my neck of the woods.
Yeah,
which is what I call my life.
Fill us in.
I went on an actual date.
Okay, and when you say an actual date,
I mean I went to a public place and met a woman
That was not
my ex-wife or your sister.
Oh, congratulations. Which is the same person. Congratulations, Keith. And how did that go?
Bad. I kept calling her Jennifer. I kept calling her Jennifer Product. I kept calling her my friend Damon's sister.
Said, hey, my friend Damon's sister, do you mind passing the bread?
Yeah, and she just picked up this big bowl of bread and just threw it at me and said, my name's Ashley. I'm no one's sister. She seemed to have this belief that being a sister is like anti-feminist.
Really?
Like being a man's sister is like the least feminist thing you can do.
Because the term is in relation to another person, potentially a man,
Yeah.
as opposed to like just her on her own.
Yeah. So
That makes sense. So it didn't go well. So you don't think you're going to get a second date?
Yeah. And when I say bowl of bread, I mean, we were at Subway and I ordered I brought my big mixing bowl and I said, can you give me some of the day old bread? And they put it all in the bowl. They'll if you bring a big mixing bowl, they'll just put all the old bread into it. Yeah.
So if I go up to them and I say, hey, can I just have some of the old bread? They'll say, do you have a mixing bowl?
Yeah, you have to have a mixing bowl.
And if not, they won't give it to me.
Yeah. But so that didn't go well with Ashley, and I don't know. I mean, also she was working
At the time?
at Subway.
Gotcha. Okay. Did she even sit down for the date with you? Was she just the cashier?
She was the cashier.
Okay. Now, did you ask her on the date beforehand, or did you just, because I'm putting a picture.
I walked in, she said, welcome to Subway. I said, we're on a date.
And she said, who? Who are you with?
You. And then I looked at her name tag. I saw that said Ashley, and I said Jennifer.
And she said, probably, what can I get for you, sir?
And I said, bowl. I brought out the big mixing bowl. I said, load her up.
With old bread.
With old bread.
Old bread, please.
Yeah. So that didn't go great.
Okay.
But I still count it as a date.
As I think anyone would. And you're getting out there, man. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. Sorry that one didn't turn out. Maybe next time, ask someone in advance if they would like to.
Well, I read in GQ that women like assertive men.
Yeah.
So I just asserted myself and I said
onto a date
with them. With Ashley. Yeah. So but that's one step in the healing process.
Yeah.
Again, it was 6-7 years ago. Who can remember since I split up with your lovely sister Jennifer Product? But it's another step in the process.
It's a crucial step in the process, and I can tell you're getting over, and I appreciate that, and I think the listeners appreciate it. First 3 episodes were a little depressing.
Yeah. So so it's going better. I'll probably figure out something else going on in my life at some point.
Yeah. And by figure out, you mean like actually do something else with your life.
Yeah. I mean, the energy bruising has given me something to do.
Good.
As well. Yeah,
Good.
Just kind of naturally using my,
negative energy, negative aura that you give off.
Yeah.
Use your strengths. Often your biggest weakness is right next to your biggest strength, they say.
Yeah.
And you being a negative person could be a strength for
Well, that's what my
business.
doctor said when he gave me the turn your head and cough. He was like, one of these is really strong. The other one's probably the weakest part of your body.
Your testicles.
My testicles, yeah. So we got a great guest and client coming up that we want to send on the vacation of their dreams.
We want to and we will.
We want to and will and must. Because if we don't, then we will not have fulfilled our prime directive.
And then we will have to end our lives.
Yeah, we will have to. We will. That is one of our policies. Is that if we don't set you up on the vacation of your dreams, we will commit seppuku. And
that is not the only reason that everyone sends us a real postcard that they actually write to us where they say they're having the time of their life. Yeah. It's not because if we got any negative feedback, we would have to.
We would be obligated
to commit
for bringing
seppuku.
Shame to our families and to our travel agency.
That's right.
Yeah, but we're gonna take a quick break and then we're gonna meet that client and have a great time.
Yeah. So we'll be right back after this short little break.
Bye. Bye. Welcome back to Destination
Passport, the only podcast about travel.
That's right.
We're the only one. Search it. Find it out. Google it. It's Googleable.
Yeah, it's Google Travel Podcast, and you will get one result.
And it'll say Destination
Passport. Oh wow, we love what we do.
We love what we do, and I love you.
And I love you, and I love your sister, but we're not going to talk.
We're not going to talk about that anymore.
Yeah, we have another great guest and another great client.
Another amazing guest and another great client. And can I tell you a secret? Those are the same person.
Okay.
And we're going to introduce them here. So I want you all to give a big welcome, stand up, stomp the ground, slap a friend, tell them, put this earbud in, put an earbud into their ear.
Rhythmically clap like you're at some sort of improv show.
Some sort of improv show, and the team is about to come out, and they're about to come out and try and act like, they're like high energy without being too annoying.
They're going to awkwardly dance.
They're going to definitely awkwardly dance, and then one of them is going to step forward very confidently, maybe overconfidently, to get a suggestion.
And you're going to be like, I don't like that guy.
You're going to be like, I definitely do not want to see him tonight. So get that mental image in your mind as you welcome our client and potential friend, Douglas Michael Stewart, everybody.
Hey, guys. Keith Bird.
Doug. Can I call you Doug?
You may.
Okay, great.
Can I call you Doug as well?
Sure.
Oh.
We can both call him Doug. That's a great start. We're on the same page.
But my name is Douglas. My name is Douglas Michael Stewart.
Yeah.
And you're Damon product.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw you guys' names on the leaflets.
Yeah.
And it took me a little while to find you. You didn't give an address.
Well, that's kind of the first test, It's like, if you're going to travel, you're going to need to find your way around.
Right. It said at the bottom, the journey starts now.
Yeah.
We gotta have you prove your way a little bit, because if we send someone off and they don't have any ability to work themselves around a map or a neighborhood, they're just gonna die out there, and then that's a liability.
That's a liability issue.
That's a liability issue for us.
Yeah.
So congratulations,
Thank
first
you
and
so much.
foremost, for passing the first test,
Thank you for having me.
and thank you for being here.
Thank you. Navigation, I would say, is a skill that I have, and it's kind of required.
Okay.
Required.
Just for my line of work.
And what's that?
I have been, for most of my life, an assassin.
Wow. And you made sure to make a point of have been. What's going on there? Is there a difference between have been and currently doing? Are you not currently an assassin?
I'd say I'm in a transition period.
Okay. What are you looking to transition into?
I've been getting into a lot of DIY things around the house.
Oh.
So you're thinking about starting a DIY TikTok channel? Page?
Yeah, my son, little Derek, he has suggested such a thing. If I can be honest with you, I don't really understand what those are all about. So
Look,
I was thinking more like I would don the orange apron and work at a Home Depot.
Wow.
And help people, and I'd learn a lot of different things in the aisles.
Now that's interesting because Denzel Washington's character in the movie The Equalizer works at a Home Depot stand-in called Home Mart.
Whoa. And was he an assassin?
Something like that.
There was killing?
Yeah. Assassinating.
Oh, okay.
You do, can't say the K word.
Killing is a thing that bad people do.
Okay. And assassinating is what now?
Assassinating is removing the life from someone professionally.
That's a very good
Okay, what
PR
about,
way to say that.
What about murder?
Oh,
What is murder?
I feel like we are all beleaguered by stories in the news of rampant murders and children struggling to sleep at night, which they should do.
Yeah, those are the two main headlines that I usually see. Yeah,
I
rampant
meant
murders.
I meant that the children, that's the result. Because of all the murders, they can't sleep.
I was just telling you, when I turn on the news, it's usually like, tonight at 6, rampant murders in the streets. And later, children are having trouble sleeping?
Right. It's the journalists are having a harder and harder time putting two and two together.
Yeah, they got to connect those dots a little better, I think.
Follow the leads, guys. But I don't think it's good.
Murder?
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's wrong.
But you do see a big difference between that and assassinating, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, so then why are you looking to get out of assassination if it's not because you think, the murdering, killing part is wrong? And I apologize for saying those words.
I think I've plateaued.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've kind of plateaued, and it's beginning to feel a little stale to me. I've tried, on every assignment, I try to bring something new, right? In your job, maybe when you're advising a client on travel,
Yeah.
maybe sometimes it could feel a little rote. So you think one time like, okay, and this time let's try to bring this energy to it, or like, what if we did it this way, right?
Yeah,
And so
we've said that exact. We
Yeah.
said those exact words.
right. And so if I'm assassinating, if I'm in the Bahamas.
Beautiful place.
Yeah,
we've sent a
gorgeous.
lot of people there.
We know a lot about the Bahamas.
Yeah, you might be our most experienced traveler. It sounds
I've
like.
traveled
Whoa.
the world.
Yeah.
I've traveled the world.
Most of our clients so far have been afraid to leave their towns.
Yeah, most of them have. Some of them have not deserved passports.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
definitely the most avid traveler we've had.
But it's always been for
Business.
work.
Yeah, not
right?
pleasure,
And there I
yeah.
am in this beautiful surrounding of the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
There's a beach. There's palm trees.
Classic.
There's every type of cool, refreshing beverage.
Coconuts.
Dr. Pepper.
Coconuts, Dr. Pepper. And while I could
Chocolate
be,
milk.
Oh, don't get me started, sir, Damon. While I could be relaxing,
Sir
Int-
Damon, that sounds nice.
into
Go ahead.
this- you could get knighted at some point.
Yeah, that's
Don't-
one of our
don't
goals,
Sell
yeah.
yourself
That is one
short.
of our main 10. We have 10 goals with this
10
travel
goals.
agency,
And that's the first
number,
we've revealed is to be knighted.
It's number 7 on the list, but the
Yeah.
first we've revealed.
Well, that is a teaser trailer if I've ever heard
Yeah.
one.
That's right.
While I could be relaxing in the Bahamas, I have to be keeping an eye out on my left for the man that I have to kill. And then I have to go over in a little bit, and I have to befriend him, and I
Ooh.
have to... We spend days together.
Whoa, there's a whole process here.
Wow. That
Right.
seems like the opposite of most assassins. And this might be a thing where it's like it's just different in fiction and real life, and that
Right.
might be something you run into a lot.
There
But-
are so many. I don't want to come off tense to you right now, but there are so many stereotypes around
That's tough.
around assassins.
Yeah.
So many
Wow.
assumptions get made about us that we don't care, that we're covered in scars and we wear
Yeah.
leather.
Yeah.
And we're out hiding in the shadows.
Yeah.
And
Like,
all we're there for
Maybe in
is
a bush in a public park or like a
maybe
public restroom.
in a bush, and we answer a cell phone and we don't say anything.
And you're wearing
We
a black
nod.
hood.
We're wearing a black hood.
Yeah.
And we go, I've got him, or whatever, with just that no tone.
And then you just hang up immediately.
Hang
like there's
up,
no like
throw away the
back and
phone.
forth. Yeah.
We're not paid enough that I can afford to throw away my phones.
Wow.
My dispatch and myself, we just text, we call. I'm not here to throw away every iPhone I have.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a regular guy. I'm out in the world, and I'm just doing my job.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna bring some humanity to it.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
You say that as if you're not quitting it. You're gonna bring humanity
Well, it
to
sounds
it.
like maybe you just need a break. You know,
Okay,
you
and
need
it's
to
also-
refresh and kind of relax and.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, maybe that's it.
It's my wife has been complaining that I have been bringing work home with me.
What's her name?
My wife's name is Darling.
Darling.
The name is Darling.
My wife's name is Darling.
Sorry, Darlene.
No, some people call her that as like a bit of a nickname.
Oh,
but
okay.
As a pet name.
As a pet name.
Darlene is a pet name. Darling is her actual name.
Her name is Darlene.
So when you're being sweet, you call her Darlene, which is just not her name.
it's
I love you, Darlene.
It's just a little joke we have. I don't know how you picked up on that so
Yeah.
fast.
Well, that's kind of what we do. You know, we're not psychiatrists,
We're travel
No,
agents.
but we get inside people's minds.
Empaths, sort of.
We're empaths,
I feel
for
like you guys
sure.
have a certain connection with energy levels.
We want to be the first people to be knighted purely for being empaths.
Right.
There's been other reasons that people have been knighted so far, but not for being empaths yet, and mostly
Yeah.
because people haven't been talking about being empaths until
Yeah,
very recently.
they're usually knighted either for bravery and valor in the service of Her Majesty, or for like being a really good rock and roll star. We want to be knighted
For really getting people.
for empathy. Yeah.
Really a third category. Yep. So I have a what do you call it? A question. So you talked about bringing your work home
That's right. Sometimes.
To Darling.
to Darling.
yeah.
I don't want to use your pet name. That's
Your
Yeah.
your little Darlene
Boundaries.
Darling.
yeah. And Lil Derek, LD. Do you call him LD? I would.
So bringing the work home, does that mean you are assassinating in the home?
I'm saying how I could. Right? It's like when people bring work home, it's not always that they are literally working
Typing away
home.
at their computer, right?
It's just that they can't, they're venting about it.
Or
And
they're just thinking about it
mentally,
at
you're
dinner.
still killing someone.
She's
mentally.
talking to me. I'm assassinating someone.
Sorry.
Right, sorry.
She's making dinner and talking about the problems with growing the rutabagas, and
Yeah.
I'm remembering that friendship I had for that 3-day period, and I'm still kind of there.
Yeah, see, this is exactly why I feel like most assassins I've heard of do not get to know their target at all.
Yeah, you're making it harder on
You're making
yourself.
it way harder in the moment and afterwards, it seems. But is this how you were trained?
This is how I am trained. Yeah.
So there's a training for this. There's a school.
There is. I went to an online university, or I telecommuted, to an online university.
You're very particular about words.
Yeah.
If you're in my line of work,
Which we aren't.
right. That's
Yeah,
what
we're
the if.
travel
That's what the if is for.
Okay. So I'm putting myself there mentally.
Okay, that's good to know.
All right. Imagine you're
Okay. In the Bahamas.
a brand new. You're not there yet.
Okay, I'll let you you put the vision in my head.
Imagine you're a budding, eager assassin.
Okay.
And you want to climb the ranks.
Yep.
You want to earn the respect of all the assassins you look up to. But you also want to prove yourself and be your own unique assassin.
Yeah.
And if you are going around getting the language wrong, it's kind of like marketing in a way. It's like branding. It's just not going to play if you're slipping up on all your wordage.
Yeah.
Right.
I would imagine there's a
can
whole
tell-
branding course as part of this program.
Right. It's sort of like when you're in a big corporation, they give you some PowerPoint presentations around the color scheme that is used and the type of logos and the fonts and the vibe of the PowerPoint presentations. And we have that on our brand. So when we're out,
Where does that come into play? Where's your brand while you're out at your job? Do you have a card?
we do have a card,
Yeah.
but we have very, very few opportunities to give them to people.
Sure.
Because typically, when I'm on the job and I'm there to assassinate
Yes.
Yeah.
a target,
Not a victim.
certainly not.
Yeah.
He was
Certainly
careful with
not.
his words.
Certainly
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
We're there to assassinate a target.
Not kill a victim. Yeah.
Right.
Do you have to separate the humanity from them in your eyes?
Well, that's the thing that's so interesting about
Yeah.
the University of Phoenix training program.
So you trained at the University of Phoenix online.
For assassins.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. It's a certification. It's not a degree.
Oh, okay.
So
Man, he is very careful
It's
with
like
his words.
professional development.
right. And
It's
there's
like a LinkedIn course.
yeah, they have continuing education credits in the assassination community
Sure.
because
Yeah.
new weapons are being made all the time.
Oh yeah, you need to just like
Stay
in
on your
any
game.
other business, you need to know, in the travel business, we need to know what are the new planes.
Yeah, what are the new types of suitcases that are coming out next?
Right.
Are
Yeah.
4 wheels here to stay?
Are passports always going to use stamps, or are they going to use stickers? That's
Right.
what we need to keep on.
Are
top
they
of.
going to go to crypto,
Are they going to go do digital passport?
digital passports? Which, again, we are not digital guys.
We're not
so
digital guys. We're manual. And when we say again,
We've talked about it at length
We've
in
talked
other
about it at length,
episodes.
yeah,
How
off
we,
mic,
we're not big fans of those travel sites.
yeah,
I've used them often and had very unsatisfying results.
That's what we
Imagine
found,
being a level 3 assassin and being crammed in the middle seat, way in the back of a plane.
Disrespectful.
And you're thinking to yourself, I could kill these 2 people right next to me. I could assassinate these 2
Oh, wow.
people.
I was going to say.
yeah.
Well, they weren't targets, so that would be killing.
that would
You're
be-
right. That would be killing, and that is why I did not do
Right. Have you
did
ever
not.
killed outside of assassinating?
I've molded over.
Yeah, it seems like it in that example right there.
And it is tough, right? If you are, people say, when you're a carpenter, they either say when you're a carpenter or you're a hammer. I can never quite get that right, but you're one of those things, and then everything to you is a nail.
Everything to you is a
Yeah.
nail.
So when you're an assassin, everyone to you could be
Is a potential death
is a
person.
potential target.
Because you never know when you're going to get, however, I know it's probably not like in the movies like Mission Impossible, and he's not an assassin, but it's probably like not in the movies where you get like some like tape that self-destructs or whatever.
No, it's just an email.
It's just, is it encrypted at least?
I was going to say.
Is Gmail encrypted?
Not usually.
Oh,
You guys leave a lot of paper trails.
right.
Talked about text messages.
But you just never know, like somebody that you just met, you could suddenly get an assignment that they're your next target.
Ooh.
Right, and there is a subtle distinction because so I don't
Schrodinger's target.
Schrodinger's target. That's very funny. There's a subtle distinction to be made, if I may. So I would never just kill somebody, but we are trained to go on our intuition as to who should be assassinated.
Whoa. Okay.
Interesting.
So some of my assassinations, some of my targets come by email, and we track them on a Jira board.
Your tickets.
Yeah, our tickets, and
Tasks.
and we have like a daily stand up, and the assassins call in.
Yeah.
And they're like, have you assassinated that man yet? No.
What are you doing?
Working on it, getting to know him.
Still
really,
working on
yeah.
it. This one's turning out to be more complicated.
Yeah, he's really
I really
nice.
like the guy.
Really nice.
Because sometimes
guy.
they are really nice, and you spend
Yeah.
a couple days with a target.
Don't call them people. They are not
Right.
people. They are targets.
Right, and it is trying because sometimes you fall in love with these people.
Wow.
Wow.
You've had to
know?
kill those you love. Assassinate.
I've had to assassinate people. I've shared intimacy with
Does Darling know
my
about
targets.
this? Or was Darling
Wait a minute.
one of your targets at one point?
You talked about bringing work home.
Oh.
You guys,
Have you seen Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
Have you seen Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
we have seen Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
You and Darling together.
Yeah, and we're not, as you can tell, we're not like that hot.
You're close.
Yeah, you're really close.
We try not to describe our guests, but
We
you're
try
like
not
probably
to.
10% less attractive than Brad Pitt, which is
Right,
pretty good.
but a lot taller.
yeah, you're like twice as tall as Brad Pitt.
Right, thank you.
So far, a better actor, too.
What does that mean?
Just your facial expressions.
Oh, okay.
I can tell.
Okay. I feel a little lost. Where was I?
Well, we were talking about Mr. and Mrs. Smith because we were wondering,
Right.
you said
Was she a target?
you're married, but you've also gotten intimate with some of your targets, or at least one.
Darling was my first assignment.
First assignment.
And my company thinks she's dead.
I was wondering if maybe like they give you a mulligan, like you get one target that you get to fall in love
It's
with.
usually the first one
It's usually the first one.
for most people. But no, you
They-
have a secret,
I have a secret that I'm keeping from them.
and you're keeping from
And
the
that's
world.
stressful.
But thanks for telling us on the
Yeah,
pod.
and we can cut it. Yeah,
We can cut this.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
No. We can talk about
Don't
this.
worry about it. Don't worry about it.
We
Okay.
will cut this.
Okay.
But I mean, what do they expect if your first assignment as a fresh face,
Yeah.
presumably just level 1 improviser, or not? Level 1. If you're
Level 1 assassin.
if you're a level 1 assassin, if your first assignment is a target who is presumably just 10% less attractive than Angelina Jolie, that's got to be hard.
That's hard.
To not fall in love.
The hotter? Well,
You're not attracted to looks?
right. I saw something. I was attracted to who she was inside. The hottest targets are the easiest to kill.
Ooh.
Interesting.
That is the rule.
Wow.
The uglier the target, the worse you're going to feel about it.
Right, because they have more humanity and probably a harder life.
When an ugly person begs, it is very compelling.
That ugly cry is
The
just
ugly
hard
cry
to...
comes natural to them.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you've grown such sympathy with them. You've been with them for days. Maybe you've eaten with their family.
Oh, wow.
And you've seen the whole ugly family, and you think, God, these people deserve more.
Yeah.
And you know you have to kill their mom soon. But if she's hot, smoking hot, I think you've had a good run.
Yeah, you've probably had a pretty good time. And if you're a target for assassination, you've probably done something to deserve it.
Right. Either they know, and either the company knows about it, and that's why they're assigned, or again, we are trained to intuit who is deserving of
assassination. Does your company use Intuit?
Surprisingly, we don't file taxes.
That is.
That
Don't
is
keep
very
any
interesting.
records of that? No.
There's not a.
Wait, so you're telling me, hold on. You're telling me that your assassination firm does not file taxes officially.
Right. That's what I'm saying. The company. I'm not going to say the name. Of the
Yeah, well, that would
assassination
be.
company I work for. One could even argue we don't have a name.
What? Okay. Yeah.
I won't, but one could argue that.
Yeah. You've told me that they do, so I won't argue that.
Yeah. Seem like a believable guy. So, you mentioned intuiting. How would you say that? Intuiting. You would just say it in a better way. Got it. Intuiting. Can I just ask really quick before we move on? Are you getting any sort of energy from us so far? Because I'd hate to go down this path and then end up being a target.
That would be a bummer.
I am. I'm picking up something really bright and beautiful from you, Damon.
Well, I am an energy healer.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
That's
good.
I feel like a good, strong connection with you, and I think your best years are ahead of you.
Wow.
Sounds kind of ominous, but kind of like a good sign.
Sounds good,
Well,
yeah.
when you say it's
Better
like a
than
good
the
energy that
alternative.
maybe. You say you vibe with me.
I vibe with you.
Yeah, but you do that to all of your victims.
Yeah, it sounds like you
Is that
vibe pretty hard
right?
with your targets.
Targets, sorry.
Targets.
Yeah.
Are you asking me if I'm going to assassinate you?
That's what I'm trying to get at, yeah.
Honestly, I was thinking that if I was to assassinate either one of you, I would assassinate Keith.
And I've gotten this before. Yeah.
I know how I would do it.
Okay, I'm curious. How would you assassinate me? If I'm a target, you're at your stand-up meeting, and they're like, "All right, Dougie, here's your next assignment, your next target. It's world-famous travel podcaster Keith Bird."
Right.
And they show an image of him walking out of a Subway with a bowl of
A
old
big
bread.
mixing bowl of old bread, tears running down my face.
I'd probably start there. I'd probably spend a month before meeting you going to Subway, acquainting myself with the flavors and the
smell,
systems, the
especially.
smells, the process, coupons, the whole world.
Wow,
Okay.
really getting immersed.
Right. Maybe even steal a employee polo. Right?
Uh-huh.
And then I'd come up to you on the street. Oh, man. Oof. Tough day at Subway today. And I'd have all these dirty mixing bowls.
It's like a trap for you, Keith.
and you would be helpless. We would
Yeah,
vibe.
I would absolutely be vibing.
We would
with-
start vibing on that.
If I ran into a random Subway employee on the street with a bunch of dirty mixing bowls, I would vibe instantly.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd say, oh, man, hey, I'm looking for somewhere to grab a cold brew and watch the game. I'd like to watch a baseball game. or
Cold brew
something.
coffee?
Sure. Yeah. I'd say, hey, do you like to consume alcohol? I'm trying to feed off of you, man. And maybe we go energize. Maybe we go take a load off. Cut to the next day, and we're throwing the ball back and forth. Okay? And you're opening up.
Yeah.
And I'm opening up. I'm finding out things about myself I didn't even know about
Yeah.
myself.
Wow.
I'm like, my dad never played catch with me, and now I'm playing catch with a Subway employee.
Right.
And you say, you feel like a father figure to me now.
Yeah.
Right. And then pretty soon we're on a road trip. We're going cross country. We pitch tent in a camp.
Yeah.
We make a tent. And it's not the biggest tent in the world.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
It's not a circus.
we're just feeling comfortable around one another.
Uh-huh.
And you look in my eyes and you say your deepest fear.
Yeah, which is, of course, that Jennifer Product will never marry me again.
Yep.
And I say, Jennifer Product is an idiot for not being with you.
Wow.
And I hug you. And I
And then-
stab you in the throat.
Oh, wow. Mid hug. So your arms are around your
Yes.
arms are around my body,
Right.
and then you stab me not in the back of the neck.
Like weddings with cake. but I've got a kind of curvy blade
So
too,
this
so
is
I don't have to. I'm not trying to create wrist pain. I'm going around. It's a curvy blade, and I can look in you and I go, it's okay.
So this is a reach-around assassination.
Reach-around assassination. That's right.
So that is the term.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. I'm a natural, I guess. Wow. You know, I was going to say, when you said that you would call Jennifer an idiot, at first I was like, yeah. And then I just felt this deep rage that you had insulted her. Oh. And I was about to say I was going to reach around and stab you in the throat.
You brought a knife?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Camping.
that's a tip that I give to all of our clients, and all is to bring a large knife.
A few weeks ago, that was our tip of the week.
That was our tip of the week, and so we live what we preach. You know, unlike preachers, we abide by our own rules and try everything out. So yeah, I would have had a very large knife as well, and yeah. So it sounds like we might have ended up just like bleeding out of our throats together in a tent in the middle of the woods.
It's possible. A surprising number of assassins get murdered.
Wow.
Not too surprising for me. I would imagine that's.
It's tragic.
Common.
We lose a lot. We lose a lot of
good men,
a lot of good people,
and they're murdered by their targets.
Right.
So the targets murder the assassins who are then victims.
Yep. That's right.
Of murder.
That's right. The murder rate of assassins has been going up, and it's not cool.
No.
Okay, and people are viewing us as part of the problem.
People shouldn't be discriminated against just because of their job.
Because of their job?
Yeah. I think, day and day that we're getting better at that, but in some places we're still lagging.
We've made a lot of progress, but we still have room to go. But I don't want to get political.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so I think we've
covered a lot. I do have a question, though.
Okay, go ahead.
Why are you looking to get away? I don't think we've covered that yet. I think we've touched on who you are, your job, that you may or may not be getting away from. Right. What are you looking for? What do you come to us for?
I feel like it's the two-prong thing of that I feel like I've plateaued as an assassin, and Darling feels like I'm still at work too much when I'm at home. So I have to change my careers, and I'm kind of trying to do a travel detox. I want to go. I want to travel and be in a place where I cannot think about assassinating.
Yeah. Does Darling still have a deep-seated fear that you will still assassinate her one day?
I think we've gone to therapy, and we've done a lot of work on the assassinating part. I think she's more worried about the infidelity because she knows how much intimacy comes about through the assassination process.
Yeah.
True. Okay, well, we can resolve that as well, hopefully, by helping you steer away from this career with a trip.
A trip
that'll open your eyes.
Wow, I cannot wait.
Because we have been there. We plateaued in our old careers. As emergency room doctor and emergency room nurse. And
in a way, one of my enemies.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. Because if one of your targets ends up in that emergency room,
we would have brought them
right
back.
up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But at a certain point, it's just I'm not getting anything out of this anymore. And then, of course, I kind of skipped out on the job the day of the big four-way school bus crash in town, and and that was a whole thing. We've talked about that. But yeah, it's just I think what we needed was to get away, and we got away to Austria, and that's how we found our love of travel, and it could help you find a
wonderful
love
place
of
to
else.
assassinate.
I'm sure.
So
we're hoping it's going to be a wonderful place just to visit, just in general, right? Okay. We want to be able to seprate those two, yeah?
Yeah.
That's the goal here.
Yep.
Be open to it. You're closing your eyes and you look angry, but please be open to this idea.
No, yeah. I'll try to clear out the memories of the assassinations.
Good. Okay. Good. All right. Well, let's start pitching then. I've got an idea.
Go ahead.
Okay. You ever been down under?
No.
Never been down under?
No.
You've never assassinated a target in Australia?
The land of foreign prisoners, is that right? Didn't they take all the prisoners?
Yeah, everyone there is descended from a criminal.
Yeah.
Oh, in Australia. Yes.
What did you think I meant when I said down
I
under?
wasn't sure.
Have you never... did you think he was asking if you've ever given oral sex?
Don't be crass.
Okay, did you think that I meant down underneath
Okay, but have you eaten your
line?
wife's... Hold on. Have you eaten your wife's pussy?
Whoa.
Darling has no complaints in the realm of sexuality with me.
That's good to know.
Okay.
Because you're only 10% less attractive than Brad Pitt.
Right.
And probably only 10% worse at sex.
I mean, assassins, we're not known for bad sex.
No, you're not known for that. You're known for other things.
Yeah, you're known primarily for assassinating.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is Australia.
Down under.
Down under is what some
Down
people
under,
refer to it
okay,
as, just so
okay.
that you can put those together next time someone says it to you.
Okay, yeah.
And when you get there, they will say, "Welcome to Down Under."
Right.
Okay. Down Under.
Weird.
So
Okay.
you got to know that they're saying, "Welcome to Australia."
Here.
Here, basically. Yeah, you're here. That's how you'll know that you're there.
Right. Once people start saying funny stuff.
Yeah, exactly. They say it in funny ways.
Yeah, once they start sounding like a bunch of silly, goofy goofballs. Yeah,
All right.
that's how you'll know you're in Australia. You're down under.
So the thing about Down Under is there's certainly cities there, but there's a lot of open land, my friend.
Wow.
So what I'm thinking is we go down to a little small town called Knipka. What's funny about that?
I thought that was another weird way of saying something.
Nope, that's the town. It's called Knipka.
Okay.
Knipka, Australia.
Okay.
Okay, and we have what we call kind of like surrogate families that we send our clients to sometimes. So this is basically like you'll be living with another family.
Yeah.
Down there, down under.
Okay.
And you'll be kind of laying low there, but you'll be getting to know the.
I'll be undercover.
Undercover in a way. Yeah.
Okay.
It's more of a husband swap. So the husband
Yeah.
of this family will then be sent to your family.
Yeah.
Because they're also a client of ours.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've seen this show that ripped off our concept, wife swap.
Yeah.
But we were doing this for our clients way before that show.
We
was
were
around.
swapping spouses for years.
Yeah,
before.
for years and years and years. And wife swap has been around for a long time.
Yeah, and it's still on the air. It's been continuously on the air for the last 10
But this
15
is
years.
more of like you're gonna be the husband in this family just so that you can. And the reason I'm thinking about this, right, is so that you can have a new family and new wife that you were never assigned to assassinate, just to get you out of that mindset.
But I am assigned to her.
Ooh.
As a husband.
As a husband.
As a temporary
But I
husband.
do worry now about some of the language.
Because when I feel about being
overlapping.
assigned to something,
Yeah.
I will be in that house down under, and I will be, looking at the snakes outside, and I'll think, okay, I could get one of those.
Yeah. Use it as a
I
garrote.
could wrap it
Yeah.
around her neck
Oh.
and squeeze.
Or you could like grab her head, shove it into the toilet, flush it. It goes the other way.
It goes the other way.
Yeah.
Right.
To do a more humorous approach.
Yeah. Or there could be like a venomous spider. And I could say, honey, look at that spider right there. And while she's distracted, I could shoot her in the head.
Or you could use whatever kitchen implement they use at Outback Steakhouse to make a bloomin' onion and just bloomin' onionize her head.
Or you could go down to the beach one day with your surfboards when it's really raging the weather. That is the waves.
yeah,
They're
the
too
waves.
high to go. The red flags are up, and you say it might be a good day to go out there.
Go
and
out
then
there.
as soon as she starts to go, just smack her in the back of the neck with the surfboard until her neck snaps in half.
Just over and over again with
Might
the
take a few
surfboard.
tries. These are just some ideas, but again, that we don't want you to do.
Because this is not a target.
The same.
But
Good ideas, though.
thank you. But yeah,
Right,
it
okay,
would be an assignment.
Yes.
Okay, but you would live with this family, hopefully get over that, and then hopefully you've been to Australia before. So again, hopefully get to a place that you've been to before that you don't have to acquaint with this strangling business.
Right. Don't call it strangling business.
Okay, I won't.
'Cause
That's
it's not-
very limiting. That's
Yeah.
putting
That
an
is limiting.
idea
On the process.
on the process.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I apologize. So initial thoughts
what else
here.
would we do there? What would we do there?
So a lot of that is up to the family. Now we do have an itinerary that we do suggest for them.
Okay.
So there is a local watering hole there, a bar,
Right.
if you will.
I was thinking a big hole that animals.
There
drink
is
at.
that right
Both.
outside.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
And that's why they named it local watering hole, the bar, because right out back there's a big old
Yeah, out back for sure.
Dangerous.
and there's a steakhouse in there.
There are these kangaroos. Like, have you ever seen a kangaroo lean all the way over and sip from a hole?
No.
It's beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous. You gotta see it.
Gotta see
They
it.
have a back balcony, so that's kind of the main appeal. You sit on the back balcony, drink a beer, drink
Watch-
down a
watch-
Foster's, and watch the
kangaroos
just dip
Sip
in and out.
slurp. Yeah.
Sip and slurp. As,
So we'd
as
go
we
to
call
a
it.
bar.
That was it.
Yeah, the itinerary is basically be a husband, and then when you're sick of that, you go to the bar and drink a Fastest.
And watch the kangaroos.
Watch a kangaroo sip and slurp. Yeah.
Sip and slurp. So, initial thoughts there.
It has a real comfort and familiarity to it. It feels I think there's a real promise in it because it is travel, but very much not travel, right? Because it feels like you might just be at
A new home.
just be at a new home with a new wife doing
Home things.
normal things. But those
But maybe that's what you need most.
those are the things I need to work on. So then when I come back to Darling,
Right. Assuming that she hasn't left you for the husband that is swapped with you.
right? Yeah, I have some questions on that. So this rough Australian man is going to be living with my Darling and LD.
Little Derek. Okay, yeah. Yes, that is exactly what
Oh,
would be
yeah.
happening.
Was that the question? I thought it was
Yeah,
more.
he'll be there.
Absolutely.
He's a good man.
He's a man.
He's a man for sure.
He's
yeah.
a man.
Okay.
He's got good qualities. But you got to remember he's descended from criminals. So
Right.
he's Australian.
It gives me a little worry, but I think she could probably handle it. I think she'd enjoy the excitement, and
Yeah.
I would be able to return home refreshed with the novelty of the mundane.
Yeah. Well, that was a beautiful way to put it. Okay. Well, Keith, what are you thinking? Because I think Keith will give you an option, and then you can kind of weigh both, see what you like more.
Sure.
Yeah, so I was thinking that it might be good to recontextualize some of the places that you've probably been, for work, and try to rewire your brain so that it's more for pleasure, And so I was thinking that we would send you to sort of South America.
Sort of South America.
Sort of South America.
Central?
Central. When I say sort of South America, I mean Central. So we're going to send you to Guatemala,
Okay.
Honduras. You're going to it's going to be a little bit of a tour. But instead of going to, for example, an underground casino to assassinate a target,
Oh, right.
you're going to be going to an underground casino to have a good time. You're going to be going to one of these illicit underground casinos in Honduras or Guatemala, and you're going to be, hitting up the craps table, playing poker, maybe doing a little bit of slots. And it's just going to be like the whole time that you're there, you're going to be thinking, probably in the back of your head, like, okay, where's my target? Where's my target? And then you're going to remember, wait, I'm just here to gamble in Honduras, Guatemala,
If anything,
etc.
your target is fun.
And I'm going to assassinate fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we could even put together a little file, of like, what the target is, right?
Confidential.
It could be
We'll
kinda
stamp it on
right?
the front.
I could get behind that. You'd send me an email with
Yeah.
with the day's assignment.
Yeah, but instead of a picture of like a man with his family that's like taken
From a bush.
telescope lens from a bush, instead it's going to be a picture of a hot tub.
And it's gonna
At the
I
resort.
just got to get in there.
You just got your mission should you choose to accept it is to get into this hot tub and have a great time.
And I'm joined. Let's say I'm not alone in the hot tub
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
whole duration.
Yeah.
And someone else gets in the hot tub, and I feel an intuition with them that they are not good.
Yeah.
And we go through all those instantaneous thoughts happen
Yeah.
of how to drown them, of how to make them think they left a little snack on the edge of the hot tub, and go
Yeah.
bite it and curb stomp them.
Or how if they are trying to also get you, how you might jump into the pool and avoid the bullets, like in that scene in John Wick.
Right. That's a third semester course, bullet dodging.
Yeah, third semester, so probably the first semester of a second term.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? I've been in casinos so many times, but I've only been there to assassinate.
Yeah.
What else
Right.
What else do you do there?
Buffet.
Buffet.
It's usually pretty
Concerts.
good buffet.
Concerts.
Often.
Yeah, sometimes kind of
And
comedians.
you don't assassinate the people who chew loudly at the buffet.
None of them
Nope.
are target. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
I guess it. Okay.
And then you're going to be working your way down to Panama, and then you're going to be attending the birthday party of the 18th birthday party of the daughter of a crime boss, a local crime boss in Panama. But you're just going to go there to hang out and have a good time.
Yeah.
You're not going to assassinate the crime boss.
We're trying to
or
ramp up
there.
the tests, right?
Yeah.
Because you're going to look at him and say, "Whoa, very assassinatable."
Looks like a target.
Looks like a target.
And he's probably hot.
He's hot.
He's hot.
Morally,
They're all hot.
they're all hot.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Panama, right?
Yeah.
So I'm there and I'm in Panama.
And you just have to.
I don't even have. Tell me this is true. I don't even have any of my weapons with me.
No.
Right?
Nope.
Yeah.
Now we usually recommend to bring a large knife.
Yeah, we do bring a large knife just for personal protection. Yeah.
Okay.
Or if you end up on an episode of Chopped, whatever.
Right. So I would have that large knife, and I could glue them down to the floor after spending days with them, getting to know them.
You have assassin's glue?
I have assassin's glue.
Wait.
Glue
What?
them to the
What?
floor.
Walk me
and
through
then
this.
Slowly,
Glue them to the floor.
Slowly run the knife down each vein.
Glue
Like
who? The
gutting
people?
them like a barnyard animal.
Sure, I was thinking kind of like the bug traps. We have one of those, but it's a sheet kind of like you lay out at a picnic.
Yeah.
Hey, come here. Hey, lay down with me. They lay down, and then they're
And then you
stuck.
say, "Psych! I'm not laying down in that."
Yeah. And then they're laying down, they're glued, and we run the knife along the vein.
Yeah, don't do that. Agreed.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that. God, it sounds like I'd be exposed to like a bunch of like fun activities and culture.
Yeah, dancing. There's gonna be a lot of dancing at that party.
Good music, good food.
Wow, Darling has always asked me to dance.
Never danced, huh?
Not for fun.
Always
I've
for
only
business,
danced
yeah.
for as a part of an assassination.
Yeah.
And then you sort of like lean in and whisper into the woman's ear. It's like, you've met your match or whatever the fuck you say.
Yeah, I say you've met your match.
Is it kind of like in Austin
then-
Powers too, where they? I remember the female. They were kind of dancing, and then machine guns shot out of her tits.
Is it like that, or
Is
is
it
it
like
like the
that?
other thing?
There's been a lot of experimentation in assassinations, and like the kooky people, kind of honestly the public universities, they teach some more of that stuff. They have the R&D, they have the budget, and they get all these crazy things.
Fancy.
We stick more with reach around, knife in the throat. Hey, what's that? Look up, knife in the belly.
Yeah, and you're not going to do any of that here. You're just going to have fun. And then when you're done with this
be a
big
dancer.
Yeah, you're going to be dancing at this party, having the time of your life, presumably. And then the last leg, you're going to board a private jet. You're going to fly to Hong Kong. You're going to infiltrate a maximum security.
And when you say infiltrate is a very activating word for me.
We know. This is
we
a challenge.
No. This is the challenge. Though. You're going to infiltrate an off-the-books, maximum security, basically prison.
Right.
Right,
with bad
people.
Bad.
And like bad people, it's sort of like a real world Arkham asylum.
Sure.
But this is like top secret. Almost nobody knows about it. And you're going to be like basically infiltrating the cell of the kind of the number one criminal mastermind in the entire prison. And
To do what?
play board games.
He's a big chess player.
Yeah, he's a big chess player, but he also does Catan.
Yeah, so he's open to
Ticket
other
to
things.
Ride.
Contemporary and classic. Okay.
And you can even play a cooperative game like Pandemic. You're just going to have a whole bunch of board games there, and you're going to just play board games with this guy. He's a sweetheart, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Little Derek is always asking me, Dad, come play these games with me.
Yeah.
And I'm not able to because I'm always in that mindset. I'm still in work mindset. Because I've never played board games for fun.
Yeah.
you've only ever like played Monopoly with like
The intention to
like kill this mafioso or whatever.
to eventually take all of the hotels and shove them down their throat at the end of it.
You say, what's that?
Yeah, you say, what's that? You shove something.
They look up and they open their mouth like, what?
You shove all the game pieces and down their throat, and then you say something like, do not pass go, do not collect $200, or whatever.
Or
you
something
say.
more clever than that, potentially.
I think that's got real promise. And so I go in there, I play some tabletop games with a man in a prison. And he knows I'm coming?
No.
But he's very welcoming.
But
He's very welcoming.
he's got the tabletop. You know that there's this person in this prison.
Hey, Douglas. I don't know if we've told you this or not, but we do
everything
that we suggest
every
to our
single
clients.
thing every single vacation that we send a client on, we try out ourselves first. So we have infiltrated this maximum security off the books prison that holds some of the greatest masterminds, the evil masterminds in this world.
Some, not all, but some of them.
Some of them are in other maximum security off the books prisons, but this one
has some of the best.
And so you got in, and he's always had the tabletop games, or he got them after he had enough visitors that he thought, I should maybe have some entertainment here for in case someone
We
else
did go
arrives.
separately. Keith went the first time. He said it was not there. But halfway through, they were kind of bored, and he said, should we do something? I don't know what to
Yeah.
do.
So
And then by the time I went, he was like, I got board games.
So we played that game before we had, like when I went, we didn't have board games. So we played some games like, the game where you put your hands under their hands and you try to slap them. You try and and they pull it away.
Yeah. You guys
play
played that
some
for
of
like 6 hours.
We played
you
that for
said.
I played that for 6 hours with an insane criminal.
In a maximum
In a
security,
maximum
off the
security
books prison.
that I was not supposed to be in.
Yeah.
We're not
That's
in.
part of the definition, right? You're
Yeah.
not supposed to be there.
yeah. We don't have a deal. We have deals with hotels, car rental services stuff.
Right, and the Australian family.
Australian family, we have a great
Polish
deal with
clowns.
Polish clowns. We have
So how was the bar in Australia?
How is it?
Yeah, how was it? Was that good
Oh,
for
because
you?
we went.
Right.
Oh, it was fantastic.
these kangaroos.
Yeah, when we said
fucking-
you got to see the kangaroos, you got to see
you
the
got
kangaroos.
it. See them slip and slurp.
Sip and slurp, but then also for $5, you can go ride them.
Ride them?
Ride
Their
them.
shoulders, yeah.
Okay, like a piggyback.
Or you can do a piggyback, or some of the buffer, and there are some pretty buff kangaroos out there.
yeah.
You can get on if they have broad enough shoulders. You can ride their shoulders like a little baby, like a little toddler.
So when you went over there, the husband came over
Yeah,
here?
Absolutely.
And
I had
was-
to do the swap.
Okay, with your partner.
Now here's the fun thing. I don't have a partner.
So
have
the-
not discussed that on the pod yet.
Yeah, he has
I have
many
many
past
partners.
partners.
So
and
I don't have a lifelong partner, let's say.
So
I just
So,
Okay,
so
here's what
basically,
happened.
he had been dating a girl for about 2 weeks.
2 weeks. I went out with her twice in those 2 weeks, and I said, "Hey," and this was on our third date. I said, "Hey, by the way, I'm going to put you into a van right now, and you're going to have to go to Australia, and you're going to have to live with a family."
Yeah.
And by that,
So he didn't do the swap.
I didn't do the swap. We did that at first, and then I did the other way.
Yeah.
And then I did the other way. I said, "Hey, excuse me. I know that we haven't moved in together, but there's going to be an Australian man who comes over here, and he's going to be living with you for a few weeks."
and it went well.
Don't know. Haven't checked up
He's a
on it
Vegemite
since.
farmer. He's a Vegemite farmer, and the Vegemite business is drying up a little bit.
Yeah.
And when you did the swap, did this man come over and was he with anyone?
So
special?
I was still with Jennifer at the
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
and they fell in love. And
One of many for Jennifer.
one of many. I mean, I've already talked about how she hooked up with Taylor Hicks at a corporate event, but this was another such instance where she, but that's how we knew that it worked. That's how we knew that this swap
Exactly,
system would work because
exactly.
it really got her out of her head. She was miserable. She hated being with me. She never wanted to be with me. She never even showed up to the wedding. And so she was sort of like, it improved her life. It improved his life. He was kind of reaching a plateau as a Vegemite farmer.
Yeah.
Right.
And
it
he
sounds
came back
hard for
refreshed.
him to keep going other places and falling in love with partners of people who want to travel.
Yeah, this guy, and we've
Yeah.
sent other
And give
clients
it up
on
for-
this excursion
and the
also.
wife. Give it up to the wife.
The
Give
whole
it up-
family.
Yeah, they're
The
great.
whole
The
Give it
kids
up real
too.
quick,
The kids
just-
having this revolving cast,
Yeah.
this revolving cast of daddies.
So sorry that I want to stay on your idea,
Yeah,
Keith.
yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that
No,
I
no,
understand
that's
that
okay.
that you do it all.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so I think I think that's a great segue, right? We're talking
Yeah.
about both here. What are you thinking?
Yeah.
Which way you leaning?
Okay.
Australia or kind of world tour of not assassinating anyone.
It's interesting because sometimes many things, like going on that tour, maybe that is the most tempting because you're around so many things. There's something equally tempting about relaxing at an Australian bar.
Yeah, just this
Being in a small town, who would know?
shittiest
you know?
small town. They barely have any paved roads. It's basically just red dust.
There's not a police department. There's just one guy who voluntarily walks around with a hockey stick,
Right. That would create a more
Field hockey.
field hockey stick.
and perhaps a more intimate environment in which I could befriend and assassinate people better than all of the different opportunities.
I think both tempting, right?
They're both
tempting.
so
You're going to
tempting.
grow either way.
Right.
As an assassin and as a man.
Wow, I hate to have to choose.
And a husband and a daddy.
Yeah, but I think I have to focus on bringing up my boy right. Mm-hmm. And I believe that Darling and I can make it work. But if I can bring up my boy, if I can spend more quality time with him via tabletop games, I don't think that can be beat, you know? And
Yeah.
I think I got to go with the world tour.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I take
Not a
the
competition.
lead. Not a competition,
What
but
are we
I
at?
do take the lead.
What are we
It's
at?
4-3.
4-3.
Oh, wow.
We were tied, so either way, you were going to break one of our hearts. Don't worry.
Oh, gosh.
But it's not a competition, and neither of us are heartbroken because we're so glad that we're about to send you on vacation of a
We're not heartbroken. We're heart-swoken
Yeah.
because we are smiles from ear to ear and heart to
Yeah.
heart right now.
The S
Yeah.
comes from smile.
This is such a good, wholesome feeling here with you guys right
Yeah.
now. I can't say enough about, and I just want to say to anyone listening
Please do.
that this has been a unique experience, and I feel changed already.
Ooh.
Wow.
And get your butts in here.
Wow.
And then
This
get
is-
your butts out of
there.
here.
Yeah,
That's
get your
right,
butts
baby.
away from here. Get him away. Yeah, wow. Thank you so much. We didn't even ask him to do that. To get
No,
a
we are
little
not holding our knives up
endorsement
to his
there.
throat right now. or
Not at
anything.
all. And if we did, he would probably instantly grab
Reach
both of
around.
them with each hand and just drive them through our windpipes.
Just out of instinct.
Just purely out of instinct. So
Yeah.
that's how you know that we're not saying that.
Man,
we're
we
not doing
really appreciate that. And if you want to write that on Yelp, go for it.
Yeah. So this has been great. We're so happy. Off mic, we'll start doing all the booking, kind of communicating with you, setting all that up. Real quick before we go, did you kill Epstein?
That man had, I'll say this, that man had more to him than met the eye.
So you spent 3 days with him in his jail cell, kind of getting to know him.
I found him a little abrasive at first.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
It felt kind of like he felt
Grooming you?
a little entitled. Yeah, he felt like he was grooming me.
He kind of had like an infamous child sex trafficker vibe.
Yeah, that's certainly what he wanted you to feel. I honestly didn't know a lot about all that stuff.
You didn't know about that going into the assignment. You just figured it out through the vibe that he was
Yeah,
giving
I just
off.
picked up on a vibe of, okay, something's up with this guy.
Yeah. A lot
Something.
is up, yeah.
But he was actually kind of a sweetheart. And we vibed, we told stories about, our lives growing up. And I was not able to beat him at backgammon.
So you're familiar with playing board games in a prison cell
with deeply
It
evil
does-
people.
Yeah, it does seem to be a theme.
You heard it here first, folks. Epstein did not kill himself.
Yeah, he didn't
First
kill
time
himself.
that's ever been said.
He was
Well, he wasn't.
assassinated.
Yeah, he wasn't killed.
He was assassinated by
Wasn't killed at
Douglas
all.
Michael Stewart, our latest and greatest client, guest, and can we say?
Can we say friend?
Yes.
I hope not too close, unless you're really out of the game.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Dougie.
Thank you, Dougie.
Thank you, guys.
We'll be right back to wrap up another episode of Destination Passport. Welcome back to Destination Passport. Wow. Dougie, as I like to call him, just a fascinating guy.
Very fascinating guy. I learned a lot about a career that I didn't know was like a technical career.
Yeah, I thought that you'd at least have to go to a 4-year, accredited university.
Yeah. Turns
become
out
an
just a
assassin.
certification
Just
is
a
all you need to
certification,
legally be able to assassinate.
Legally.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But yeah, he, honestly, it's interesting. Last week we had a professional internet bully.
Mm-hmm.
This week we had a professional assassin.
Mm-hmm.
The assassin was a much better person than the internet bully.
100%.
Just a nicer guy, kind of more humanity to him. you know?
Way more humanity to him and just a calmer, well, I don't know about a calmer demeanor, but I just got such a good energy
Yeah,
from this
good
guy.
energy.
You
Much
would
better
never know that he was an assassin, and maybe that's the point.
Yeah, and that's
Maybe
probably why
that's
he's
the
so
point.
good at it. He's able to assassinate all these targets because, you figure he approaches you like in a resort or something, and you think, oh, this guy's coming over to just chat,
Yeah,
or
ask
like
me if I want to play bocce ball
buy
on the
me a
beach.
pina colada.
Yeah.
And he does do those things, and then he kills them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lulls you into a false sense of security.
Which we were not lulled. We were lulled into a very true sense of security.
Yeah, it's not false. That was real.
Yeah,
so I
that
have
was
no concerns that he's going to try to.
None whatsoever.
I almost said murder, but
Kevin
assassinate
Funt.
us.
Kevin Funt. I'm more worried about Kevin Funt. Somehow, but especially because he wasn't very good at it.
Yeah.
I'm worried about him like accidentally bullying us in a way that like makes us lose our livelihoods or something.
Yeah. Yeah. His examples on his website were horrendous.
Really horrible.
Really bad.
Yeah, like he was accidentally bullying his clients and stuff most of the time, it seemed. Yeah, I don't know.
I was well confused, but
confused, yeah.
But happy for Dougie Boy, and obviously we'll catch in with him as we always do.
But we're gonna wrap up the episode like we always do with a tip of the week and something to look out for.
Yeah, so I'll launch into the tip of the week. We got tips of the week, a tip of the week. We got tips on the week and tips of the week. We got tips of the week.
Yeah.
And thank you again for letting me record that.
Yeah, it's better. Now that I hear it, it's better than my 3-hour-long concerto.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure to play that exact clip every time we launch into our tip of the week segment.
Yeah.
But okay, my tip of the week is when traveling, especially across international borders, be careful what plants you try to bring with you, because too many of our clients have, too many of our clients before they came to us.
Yeah, before they became our clients.
Excuse
Back when they
me.
were fucking idiots.
Yeah, when they were fucking dum-dums.
Using these fucking idiot websites.
They would go and they would say, wow, what natural wildlife. Wow, wow, wow. And pictures just weren't enough for these dumb fucking idiots. So they would pluck the cacti.
Yeah, they would grab the cactus with their full palm.
Which is my first part of the tip. Don't do that.
Don't do that. That's going to hurt.
Because they were bloody.
And then just yanking it. Like, I don't even know what the roots are, like what that would even look like, just yanking it,
It's
a
a
full
tough
cactus out of the ground.
process.
That took 200 years to get that big.
Yeah.
They just yank it out of the ground.
Just throw it in their suitcase, bloody and all.
All
and
their blood is just dripping,
Yeah.
seeping out of the suitcase through the zippers.
And then guess what? Customs comes on you, and they say, "Whose blood is this? Whose blood is this?"
I hate it whenever customs ask me, whose blood is this? Whenever I'm trying to get through customs and they're like, whose blood? It's like, mind your own fucking business.
Yeah, I know that this is kind of your job, but come on, man.
Come on. We all
That's kind of
got blood.
personal.
We all got blood. Who are you to tell me where I should keep my own blood?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether it's in my body or in my suitcase dripping from the little holes.
Also, at that point, he has blood on his hands because he's taking it
in
out
more
to
way
look
than-
at it.
More ways than one.
Right.
Working for customs.
So really just trying to stop our clients from having to go through that process of getting questioned by customs and then going to prison because they illegally stole what was a natural habitat that is, what's the word I'm looking for? Dying. Not going to be around long anymore.
Going extinct?
Going extinct. Yeah. So don't do that. That's my tip of the week.
Yeah, we had a client once who was telling us about this time they went on a vacation and they accidentally stole the talking flower from Little Shop of Horrors.
Yep.
and it ate everyone else on the plane.
Yeah.
They just got in so much trouble from the pilot.
Big issue from the pilot's perspective specifically.
The pilot gave them a spanking, which people don't realize is pilots are within their rights to give passenger spankings for any reason.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they don't even wait till the end of the flight. They say, you get up here right now, young man. Over the intercom too.
Yeah.
Say, we're getting some clear skies and get your ass up here right now because I need to give you a spanking, young man.
The gentleman in seat 13B.
The only one that's left alive still.
If you could come up to the cockpit, I'm going to spank your bare bottom. Thank you for choosing Southwest.
So that's happened.
That has happened many times to our clients, again, before they became clients, before they got wise.
Before they got wiser with us. So that's the tip of the week. Keith, you want to launch into what to watch out for?
Yeah. So what to watch out for if you are hoping to go on, a little day trip, a little weekend getaway.
Sometimes I am hoping for that.
Yeah, something that's not maybe you don't need a full service boutique travel agency's help with. That's kind of what we're trying to do in this segment. And what I'm gonna throw out at you this week is there's a little event happening down in Tucson, Arizona called Human Pinball. And basically what it is, you get in one of those big blow-up balls that you see usually on like tech campuses for some reason, like in the quad of a Google campus, and they're fucking around doing all
because they
their
think it's fun and relaxing.
Because they think it's fun, and also they're being tricked into staying at work longer. But basically, someone in Tucson has rigged up a full human-sized pinball machine.
Wow.
Yeah, and so basically, you have a very strong man with a huge plunger that he pulls back, and then he lets go, and it just smashes into you, and it just kind of sends you up on this pinball. You're zipping around, banging, hitting the flippers and the little bumpers and making the lights go off and the colors. What I will say is that if you have a photosensitivity, to light and are prone to seizures.
Seizures, yep. Seizure warning for sure.
Close your eyes. Just close your eyes when you're going on this human
That
pinball
solves it.
machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't seen this yet, so thanks for pointing this out. Who does the, you press the buttons and it hits the paddles? How does that work in this human-sized version?
Okay, so it's basically just a bunch of large men. Basically, this is sort of a CrossFit gym in Tucson that is...
trying a new slant.
Yeah, it's sort of a mutually, people coming who want to be a human pinball, and then you have these CrossFit guys who are trying to get big and beefy.
Unique workout.
Yeah, it's a very unique workout to pull that plunger to hit the, there's a lot of resistance on the little buttons for the flippers.
Yeah.
So they're basically just doing that, and then they rotate, like I guess they do with this bullshit, CrossFit bullshit that they do.
You notoriously hate CrossFit. We know that,
Yeah.
Keith.
Well, because I had a CrossFit incident.
Oh.
Yeah, they thought that I was a medicine ball. So they were throwing me against the wall and stuff.
Yeah.
They're balling me up, throwing me against the wall, and then I was like, no, I'm not a medicine ball. I'm not a medicine ball. It's like, okay, so he must be a big tire. So they they made me into a big tire shape and were rolling me up and down the gym floor, and I was like, no, I'm not a tire. I'm not a tire. Yeah.
So they said, this guy must be a rope to climb.
Yeah.
After
So they
that.
did the rope thing, they're climbing rope, and then they're doing the rope thing that you see athletes do
the
with
shoulder one.
the shoulder one. Mm-hmm. And I was getting I was feeling pretty stretched out. I felt that one actually felt pretty good.
Yeah.
To be
I was hoping some massage at that point.
yeah, and I was forming a sine wave or whatever, with my body.
You said, I'm not a sine wave.
I'm not a sine wave. I'm not a sine wave. And yeah, so even though I felt more stretched out and kind of relaxed in a lot of ways, but I was still pretty upset from the medicine ball. And
Seems
the tire.
like it, yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but man, check out that Human Pinball.
Human pinball.
Tucson, Arizona.
I've checked with these CrossFit guys; they will not confuse you for anything but a human pinball. Yeah,
Which is the plan
which is the plan
in this case. So
Yeah, so if you're in Tucson, or maybe want to grab a quick flight to Tucson, that's just something that you can go do, and it should be a good time.
excellent. Well, I think that wraps it up for this episode. Thank you all so much for listening. We will be back again next week with a wonderful guest, and we will send them on a wonderful trip.
Yeah, and they, they're going to get away one way or the other.
One way or another, they're going to get away through us or through us. That's our motto.
Yeah, through us. You got two options.
When you
Go
come to
through
us
or go through us. Well, for everyone here at Bird Product Travel Agency, I've been Keith Bird.
I'm Damon Product.
And we hope that you go on the journey of a lifetime.
With your destination.
With your destination being
A passport.
which is the heart. Bye.